The Big Three. That's how I call the trio of Quake II, Half-Life, and Unreal. Each excels in something different, and all of them are great, perhaps even revolutionary. Quake II arguably has the 30th position among them. It's the oldest and doesn't stand out for its story like Half-Life, nor for its graphics like Unreal. Yet, it remains an amazing adventure built on polished technology from ID Software that was a pure joy to look at back in the day. To get personal for a moment, Quake II was one of the first games I played at home on my very first PC. Well, I didn't have the full version, just a demo. I played that first mission, out of 10 in the full game, over and over again. And I was always excited yet terrified out of running into a parasite, that dog-like creatures with a human face that launches a long tongue from its brain to suck your life away. I also dread opening the elevator doors to the next level, knowing a tank, a giant, equipped with a machine gun, blaster, and rockets, would be waiting. Then came the day I got a Voodoo 2 graphic card. Once I got it running, I felt like I was in another world. The pixelized graphics were gone, replaced by a level of beauty I had never experienced before. When I finally got my hands on the full version, it became only the second game I ever finished. And the very first one I beat without using a walkthrough. To be honest, I'm not sure how I managed it back then. I still remember being completely lost as early as the second mission. English isn't my strongest suit now, but back then I knew next to nothing. So I had no clue what the game wanted from me. I even used a no-clip cheat just to find the exit to the next area, but no matter where I looked, it was futile. It took me a long time to realize that this wasn't about the linear start-to-finish missions I know for Doom 2. Here, you have to complete an objective, like cutting the power, and then backtrack to the previous mission where a new path had opened. The game offered much more complex levels than its predecessors. The story itself isn't exactly dazzling, but what do you expect? As John Carmack famously said, story in a game is like a story in a poor movie. Nevertheless, landing on a hostile planet where the stroke race is torturing humans creates a great atmosphere. Your job is to dismantle those inhuman factories that turn people into machines and take out anti-craft defenses so your comrades can move in. One thing that always bugged me though was that it's always just me, no one ever helps. You don't encounter a single ally. Occasionally, you find some pure, driven mad humans, but they are useless. This was only fixed in Quake IV, which featured one of the most disgusting scenes in the gaming history, of course, except for the horror games. But that's a story for another time. The mission structure betrays its roots. To prevent you from getting from point A to point B too easily, you will be hunting for Carlot keys. However, it's not as tedious as it used to be. Tasks now include finding wells to start machinery or draining water to clear a path. Due to the complexity of the maps, it's easy to get lost. Usually, the game holds your hand by opening shortcuts through previous locked doors, but not always. Even now, I found myself getting quite lost in the later missions. On medium difficulty, the game wasn't overly punishing. Ammo was plentiful and there were 3 ultimate weapons. First is the chain gun. If you run into a boss, this was the go-to choice because the rate of the fire was incredible, though ammo literally evaporated. Then there is Hyper Blaster. Not as powerful as chain gun, but the ammo lasts longer, and once those barrels started spinning, no enemy stood a chance for long. Finally, there is Railgun, an iconic weapon especially famous from Quake III. In the right hands, it was peerless. Two shots kills most enemies, and ammo was everywhere. And the enemies? They are flawless, except for the barracudas. I really hate predatory fish in the games. And I also wasn't a fan of the mutants, something between a giant dog and a lion, which, along with the fish, are the only original inhabitants of the planet. The gladiators were great, though their railguns could fry you in just a few hits. And I have already mentioned the tank and the parasite. Wow, it has been exactly 25 years since I first played Quake II, and I figured now was the right time for another run. I have beaten Half-Life and Wonder several times, but Quake II only once. Plus, I realized I owned the versions with expansion packs. To get back into the swing of things, I played the main game. Ground Zero made me sweet. Initially, you suffer from a massive lack of ammo, forcing you to fight advanced enemies with just the basic blaster. It feels like an endless struggle. If you survive the start, two new enemies will haunt your dreams. The Stalker is a robotic spider equipped with lasers. Rockets and hyper blasters are useless against it because it jumps and dodges constantly. It even crawls on ceilings. Speaking of AI, in the original game, it's not very high. Enemies often get stuck on invisible walls, especially the male-focused berserkers. The enforcers often have to load before firing. In the expansion, they are much meaner. They stay loaded and only reload after emptying a magazine. But the most annoying enemies are the turrets. From the second location onwards, they are everywhere. They can take 3 rockets and have a tendency to reveal themselves only after you pass, shooting you in the back and taking off 20% of your health per hit. There is also a new final boss in a nasty lair who definitely won't go easy on you. The Reckoning is a bit more traditional and slightly easier. It mostly features soldiers who are easier to kill but equipped with powerful weapons like lasers or hyper blasters. The ending, however, is brutal. You face upgraded gladiators that have double the health of the tank and fire fireballs that can one-shot you. Close quarters combat is actually the best tactics here, as you can dodge their melee swings more easily than their projectiles. To top it off, you will fight 3 tanks and 2 gunners in one small space, followed by a 30-second timer to deactivate a self-destruction sequence. Very intense. In both expansions, there isn't much story to speak of. You are merely dealing a crushing blow to enemy defenses. The level design is interesting but often confusing, so expect some wandering through empty halls looking for a missed switch. If you love Quake II, you likely enjoy the 2023 remaster with 4K resolution, 120 FPS and 8-player split screen. It's the definite way to play. It even includes a brand new campaign. What more could you ask for? And that's all! So what are the pros? Well, the game contains entertaining enemies, a great gameplay feel, level design, and the weapons, especially the railgun and hyper blaster. And what are the cons? Mainly repetitive environments and lack of allies, NPC interaction, and the AI of the enemies in the original game. And that's all I wanted to say about Quake II. Next time? I'm thinking Howard Legacy or Alan Wake. So bye and see you next time.